Another cold morning. So early that it's still dark outside. People are coming in, rushing into the train station to go to their various jobs up before the sun. It's cold again, 41 degrees. We thought the spring had come, and then all of a sudden, I'm pulling my winter coat back out of the closet and getting ready to wear it because I don't really know what else I should wear. People say wear layers. I don't even know what kind of layers I should be wearing because the temperature is changing so fast. I can't keep up. Depending on where you live, it may be the same with you. I find it interesting that the external temperature is changing so fast when, in actuality, our social temperature, our sociology, our social interactions, everything about our world and the way it works is changing just as fast. One day it's warm and pleasant, one day it's cold, one day it's so hot it's unbearable. It jumps from one thing to the next. And it seems that we have difficulty keeping up with it. People thought that social media would be a cure. But when we go on social media, all we find are various ideas that often lead not to communication, but to anger and strife, as people will try to tell you things about yourself that they would have needed to know you for 20 or 30 years to even understand. Everybody thinks that they know so much just because they can punch in numbers or letters into a phone and can flip up and down looking at various posts on social media. It's getting very sad. Wars are being created, not only between countries, no, not only between races and cultures now, but people are trying to create wars across generations. They'll tell you that the generation born between 1945 and 1968 are the same. When we look at this, and the people, the individuals within those groups, that diverse group, we see that that's nonsense and that we cannot tell how a whole swath of people are just because of the years that they were born or on earth. It creates a new box. And every time we turn around, we're seeing new boxes being generated and pushed out as different generations. And when the generations are defined, they become instruments. When they're instruments, they can be used. They can be used. We can get them to believe the stereotypes about other generations, elders, their children, their grandchildren, and we can get these people to not see each other as humans or individual, no, but as robotic creatures. And most importantly, the wrong person, the person who has no type of morality and only wants power, then has a tool that they can use in order to get generations to fight against each other. First, they created the races to fight against each other when race was really no big problem in the world most of the time. And now they're creating various generations to fight against each other. They're going out and getting people with various sexual orientations to fight against each other, people from various religions to fight against each other, and even people from various sects of religion to fight against each other. And all of this division makes it impossible to create the world we want. But a few have the world they want as they ride on a wave of anger, violence, and despair and reap the fruit that come from it. That fruit is the resources that all of us are making, the resources that we can't hold on to because we can't get together. We can't work together. Can't work outside of a system that is designed to push us toward feudalism. This is something to think about only because it's something we can overcome. We can overcome it because we are human beings. We're able to think, able to feel, able to know. We're able to look at things and compare and contrast them. We're able to think and remember and look at the past, project it into the future. And now, with the internet, we can look farther and farther into the past and we can see the pattern. And the pattern is this: people working on a plot of land that they don't own and giving much of what it yields to the real landowner, a very rich, noble person that is far out of sight, and living off of the peasants and the serfs working the land. What has to happen, though, is that we need to be able to reclaim the land and to use the resources from that land for ourselves. When capitalism began, that was the idea that sparked it. Whenever I mention the way things were originally to people, they start complaining and saying it's not like that now and how terrible it is and it's the worst thing in the world. And that may be true, but most of these things had their origins in one group finding something that is helpful and wonderful and freeing for the world, with one group sitting, waiting for it to catch on so that they can change it to something that is good only for themselves. That is the history. And the secret for any progress, I think, is going back to the origin. And it's funny because going back to the origin is the meaning of the word religion. We need to go back to the origins of everything and rebuild to create a better world, better communities, and a better nation. We cannot keep plunging forward blindly and think that things are going to change just because we don't go along with what's happening. We have to build parallel systems based on love and contentment, mutual understanding, so that we can grow and so that we can be nurtured as we work in order to create a better world. We need way stations. We need places where we can go to and be revived and renewed, be educated, while we can do the work to change the world. But if we forget this, if we listen to the people who don't care about looking deep within, who are so ego bound that they think that changing things outside the world or outside in the world to align with what their ego thinks is the most important thing, we'll never do the inner work. We'll never grow. Whether they be left or right, or liberal or conservative, Democrat, Republican, They have ego attachment and think that the only thing that's necessary is that the world conform to what their ego desires. They will end up damaging us all, becoming tyrants, and leading us down yet another road of destruction where what we were doing to liberate people becomes an exclusive club. And then those who are ego bound will rise up to the top again, and the whole organization will become an oppressive clique. It is time to stop repeating the same thing over and over again and thinking there will be a different outcome. We have to observe the thinker, change the thinker, change the thoughts, and then this change will change the perception and the way we interact in the world. That, of course, is an opinion that's been around for a long time, but hardly ever listened to. But we, who make this podcast, in some places called On Being Human Religiously, in other places called various things, will work to give out the information in order to try to help people not do what we want them to do, but free themselves from all of the noise and all of the garbage. You can learn more about us at nextstepcoaching.mysite.com or visit our Patreon. You may be listening to this podcast on our Patreon or on our YouTube channel. Either way, thank you for being with us. Namaste, everyone.